The Greek central bank says its website was taken down by hackers linked to Anonymous. The hackers say it was part of a campaign against central banks. CNN Money's senior technology correspondent Laurie Siegel joins me now. And Laurie, how worried should we be about this? How serious was this?
You know, it's interesting. They're calling this Operation Icarus. This is a reference to the Greek mythology. And they're saying that this is the operation to end all other operations. Now,
bold words.
You've got to remember with Anonymous and this kind of loose collective group of hackers that the bark is always louder than the bite. What they were able to do is essentially take down the website for a couple minutes. They use something called a denial of service attack. This is essentially
pretty common, right?
Very common. It's overloading a website with traffic so much so that it goes offline. And this one only went offline for a little bit. Now, where you run into trouble with Anonymous and these kinds of threats is they're saying this is only the beginning. And I did a little bit of digging, and Anonymous is only as good as the online following. How many people are actually going to try to sign on for this operation of what they're calling Operation Icarus? And it actually has a pretty big online following. They have Facebook groups with like thousands of people in there. If you do a lot of digging, you'll see that there's a site online where they essentially have what their next targets will be. They're talking New York Stock Exchange, London Stock Exchange. They have the websites of every regional Federal Reserve bank. But what can they really do, I think, is really the question. Right. And really, they can take down the websites for a little bit of time. But
we're not clear they can actually disrupt financial interactions or shut markets down or cause trading to come to an halt. That's unclear right now.
Exactly. You know, I think in this particular hack, it was down for a couple minutes. You know, maybe a little bit of business was lost, but no sensitive documents were leaked. No customer information was leaked. There was a denial of service attack in 2012 against American banks that actually had a bit of an effect. They got these websites down for about a day. So a lot of business was affected. But in this particular case, I would say they're talking about let's do this over the next 30 days. It's a wait and see kind of game.
So it's good to have that perspective, but it sounds like something that we shouldn't completely dismiss. It seemed strange to me when I heard it. I'm not surprised that they're railing against central banks, but it seemed strange that the first target would be the Greek central bank, the country that's frankly on its knees and has issues with the European. I mean, some people feel a lot of sympathy toward them as opposed to being the target. It's always the case with Anonymous that a lot of people find it hard to understand what their motives are. You talk to these people often.
It's true. Anonymous is this very loose collective group of hackers. I always say this to people, anyone could be a member of Anonymous. Right. You can just claim you're a member of Anonymous.
I am not, for the record.
You are not, neither am I, right? But people all around the world can claim to be members of Anonymous, and they all kind of collectively gather for these operations and these web forums, and that's why their operations are so random, whether it's against Donald Trump or ISIS or a certain
It seems to be against authority, though.
You know, and it's interesting. I actually spoke to a member of Anonymous months ago, and I asked him, what does this group stand for? Listen to what he told me. Is there a unifying principle to Anonymous?
This is Anonymous, a legion of people who wants freedom, not only in the internet, but also in the streets, in the real life.
What do you say to the folks who say Anonymous breaks the law, and that's not okay?
If it's freedom is breaking the law, there's something wrong with the law.
It's this idea of hacktivism, right? Yeah. If they see something, they want to take matters into their own hands. So, you know, maybe they code or maybe they try to hack. And this can be, you know, they aren't known as being sophisticated hackers, but they are known for when they come together for a certain cause, they can do some damage.
It's always the worry with vigilante. You can believe in the cause, but you worry who are the decision makers, and it's not transparent enough. All right, we're going to watch